Thomas's branch line is important, and so is Edward's. But their track and bridges are not so strong as those on the main line. Sir Topham Hatt does not allow the heavier main line engines like Gordon to run on them. But one day, the way Gordon was talking, you would have thought Sir Topham Hatt had given this order for quite another reason. "It's not fair," grumbled Gordon. "What isn't fair?" asked Edward. "Letting branch line diesels pull main line trains." "Never mind, Gordon. I'm sure Boko will let you pull his freight cars sometimes." Gordon spluttered. "I won't pull Boko's dirty cars. I won't run on branch lines." "Why not? It would be a nice change." "Sir Topham Hatt would never approve," huffed Gordon. "Branch lines are vulgar." Gordon puffed away. Edward chuckled and followed him to the station. Percy works in the yard at the big station. He loves playing jokes, but they can get him into trouble. One morning, he was very cheeky indeed. "Beep, beep! Hurry up, Gordon. The train's ready." Gordon thought he was late. "Ha, ha, ha, ha!" laughed Percy and showed him a train of dirty coal cars. Gordon thought how to get back at Percy for teasing him. Next, it was James's turn. "Stay in the shed today, James. Sir Topham Hatt will come and see you." "Ah," thought James, "Sir Topham Hatt knows I'm a fine engine. He wants me to pull a special train." "Do you know what?" asked Percy. "What?" grunted Gordon. "Do you know what?" "Silly," said Gordon. "Of course I don't know what, if you don't tell me what is." "Sir Topham Hatt says that the work in the yard is too heavy for me. He's getting a bigger engine to help me." "Rubbish," said James. "Any engine could do it. If you worked more and chattered less, this yard would be a sweeter, a better, and a happier place." Percy went off to fetch some coaches. That stupid old signal, he thought. He was remembering the time he'd misunderstood a signal and gone backwards instead of forwards. "No one listens to me now. They think I'm a silly little engine and order me about. I'll show them. I'll show them." But he didn't know how. Thomas the tank engine was ill. Workmen had tried to make him better, but it was no use. "Edward must take you to the works," said Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas felt very miserable. Then Sir Topham Hatt spoke to Duck. "I want you to help Percy and Toby while Thomas is away." Duck was delighted. He already knew Percy and soon made friends with Toby and Bertie. Terence the tractor gave him a big welcome, too. "Take care of Thomas's coaches," he advised. "He's sure to miss them while he's away." Duck was very gentle with the coaches. Annie and Clarabelle were impressed. "Such nice manners," they told each other. "It really is a pleasure to go out with him."
I got this problem. See?
The engines were finding life difficult. Workmen were mending the viaduct on the main line. The arches needed strengthening. Sir Topham Hatt did not want to close the railway while the work was done, and so repairs took a long time.
So people, if you see a commercial on Train Driven, just ask YouTube. Because I'm reading commercials with everyone.
The engines had to take great care when crossing the viaduct, and the delay often made them late on their journey to the junction, where they knew Thomas would be ready to collect his passengers. Thomas grew crosser and crosser. "Time's time," he grumbled. "Why should I keep my passengers waiting while Henry and James dawdle about all day on viaducts?" "Don't blame me," snorted Henry. "If we hurried across the viaduct, it might collapse, and then you'd have no passengers at all. What would you do then?" "Run my train on time, for one thing," retorted Thomas. He hurried away before Henry could answer. Thomas the Tank Engine is very proud of his branch line. He thinks it is the most important part of the whole railway. His two coaches, Annie and Clarabelle, agree with him. Annie can only take passengers, but Clarabelle can take passengers, baggage, and the conductor. They are both old and need new paint, but Thomas loves them very much. As they run backwards and forwards along the line, they sing songs to each other. When Thomas starts from a station, he sings, "Oh, come along, we're rather late. Oh, come along, we're rather late." And the coaches sing, "We're coming along, we're coming along." Bertie the bus was giving some visitors a tour of the island of Sodor. It was their last afternoon, and Edward was preparing to take them to meet Bill and Ben. He found it hard to start the heavy train. "Did you see him straining?" asked Henry. "Positively painful," remarked James. "Just pathetic," grunted Gordon. "He should give up and be preserved before it's too late." "Shut up," burst out Duck. "You're all jealous. Edward's better than any of you." "You're right, Duck," said Boko. "Edward's old, but he'll surprise us all." "I've done it. We're off." "I've done it. We're off," said Edward, as he finally puffed out of the station. Bill and Ben are tank engine twins. Each has 4 wheels, a tiny chimney and dome, and a small squat cab. Their freight cars are filled with china clay. It is needed for pottery, paper, paint, and many other things. The twins are now kept busy pulling the cars for engines on the main line and for ships in the harbor. One morning, they arranged some cars and went away for more. They returned to find them all gone. The twins were most surprised. Their drivers examined a patch of oil. "That's diesel," they said. "It's a what'll?" asked Bill. "A diseasel, I think," replied Ben. "There's a notice about them in our shed. Coughs and sneezels spread diseasels. You had a cough in your smoke box yesterday. It's your fault the diseasel came." "It isn't. It is." "Stop arguing, you two," laughed their drivers. "Let's go and rescue our freight cars." Bill and Ben were horrified. "But the diseasel will magic us away like the freight cars."